everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Claire Marie B, and in this video today I want to take you through my January 2021 setup. This is quite an ambitious spread for me. I'm trying a bunch of things for the first time, so I really hope you guys enjoy this video. The inspiration for this spread came actually in about November. I started planning this. It was due to not being able to go and see any shows, musicals, which I absolutely love due to COVID. I was really missing it, and I was listening to The Phantom of the Opera, which is my favourite musical, and I was really inspired by Masquerade, the song from there. So this is my little nod to the arts, sending them lots of love at this really challenging time. And here's my Masquerade spread. So the first part that I'm doing is drawing out the line of the mask and some nice borders with scrolls, which I'm going to be colouring in different shades, and I'll show you that soon. Again, using things for the first time. I bought some lovely gold paints, so I'll show you me using those as well. I searched for some different fonts online to find this one to draw out the word January. I really liked this one because it had some nice scrolling to it, but it was still quite simple, and that's my January font. To the watercolouring. As I said, this is my first time using watercolours. I went on YouTube, found some really great videos with good tips on how to build colour, how to start, how to blend. So yeah, they're really handy, and I encourage everyone just to get stuck in and try. It was so much fun. The look I went for with the mask, I purposefully didn't do any edges because I wanted to try out and do the blending. I just wanted it to be a really nice sea of colour, and I really loved using the blue and building that up. I used a set of Van Gogh paints and mixed different colours with the blues in order to build up how dark they were and how pale, and I also then placed some dots around January just to build up the pattern a little bit more and get more of the colour across the page. My initial plan had been to do a quote on the left-hand page. I normally do have a quote, and there is a nice gap if I wanted to put something small there. And there was some really lovely lines from the Phantom that I wanted to put on there, but I felt it was going to be too busy, and in the end I just decided it looks more effective to be like this. Once the page had dried, I could use my Crayola fine tips to colour in. So I picked some different shades of blues, 3 shades of blues all in all, a navy and then some paler colour blues, and then also coloured in the eye holes in a dark black as well. I really liked the idea of using the blues because of the time of year, the seasons. It was really nice because it gives it an icy feel. I bought this paint set on Amazon. I'll put a link of what the paint set is in the description section, and I'm using this paint set to do the scrolls and then also to create some highlights of the page. These colour paints are really strong. The colour I've just given the book a tilt there so that you could see it shining. I was really surprised at how good they really are, and I'll definitely be using these again. They came in different golds, and there's also a really lovely silver in there too. So I'm just building up some sections randomly on the mask, and then also I'm going to dot some bits and pieces across the page as well to finish that off. The next flourish that I wanted to do was a feather effect near where the mask meets the handle. So I'm just building up the colours there with some leaf type shapes, feather shapes that add to the look of it being a bunch of feathers all stuck to the side of the mask. With the final adding of some extra dots and bits of gold to really make it pop, that is my cover page finished. Onto my monthly calendar page. If you've watched any of my videos before, you know I love a to-do box to help me put things in for the rest of the month and keep a track on what it is that I need to do. That's what's going on the left-hand side with some little squiggles and scrolls, and then I'm drawing out the boxes for the calendar. This month I'm going back to my trusty way of doing one great big box. This gives me a little bit more space for all of the dots. Some torn black paper to the edges. I find that adding coloured papers and little additions to stick into the book really helps to keep the theme together across the different pages, and it helps to keep the colours connected throughout. So if you're doing your monthly spreads, that's probably my little tip for you. And then I'm using some blue washi tape to tape down and then write the days of the week in gold across the top. Finally, using my trusty Pigma Micron to number out all of the days, and then my zebra mouth liners to colour in a little box around those just to give some more blue. Then finally just some flourishes in the gold pen, and it's time for the titles. final lettering, that's my calendar spread for the month. On to my trackers. I spent a long time thinking, how can I do my mood tracker this month? It can be quite tough when you pick a theme like a masquerade mask. I didn't want to have lots of little masquerade masks to colour in, so instead I've taken the flourishes from the first page and the little jewels and gems that are hanging on the mask, and turned them into a border around the outside of the page. And then I've made sure that there are 31 circles and jewels and sort of beads, etc., all going around, and they're going to form the days of the month for me to colour in a variety of shades of blue. When I first set up my mood trackers, I stuck to pretty much a scale of being happy to not happy. But now I've started to track more things like productivity, because I'm generally quite a happy person. So and I don't necessarily like to have it all full of, oh yeah, I'm really sad all the time, or one little bad thing happened determine the entire day. So I wanted to track some other bits and pieces as well. I've put my daily trackers then in the centre. So as you can see, I track a lot of different things each day. These are the key 8 that I've been tracking now for about the last 2 months. I probably went a bit tracker crazy in November and did absolutely loads, and then focused on which ones of those worked for me, because I put far too many trackers on there and I was just spending all my time every day tracking, and I really wasn't enjoying it. I've added some of the black paper again to do the title page, and then finally I'm using the gold paints just to put some more dots and flourishes around the page. The next thing I decided to do was take some paper from a sketchbook and create a watercolour blended blue scene on there, to be able to cut that paper up and use it on the edges of my pages, just like I do with the black paper across this spread. I didn't want to have the black paper across every single page, so this was a way for me to keep the theme going through the month in a different way. But I learned from the cover page that using all of the water for the watercolours on my journal, despite it being 160 GSM, it really crinkled the paper, and I didn't want that through the entire spread. I've wet the paper a lot, and then I'm adding lots of different shades of the blue and then blending those together. What I've done is, it's 2 colours in that travel. It's a travel paint set that I bought, the Van Gogh set. There's only 2 or 3 shades of blue in there, and I simply mixed the blue with a bit of black, or took a bit of white in there in the palette sections, and that's how I built up the colours. And then I just used the water to merge all of the colours together. I had such a lot of fun doing this. I can't believe I haven't tried it before, and I'm definitely going to be doing it again. I next chopped all the bits up to fit the pages that I wanted it to, and finally I got my trusty gold paints back out again and added some extra dots and flourishes so that this really popped and kept the theme going. So this is the spread that I wanted to use the watercolour paper on. First thing I wanted to do is a word a day. I've seen a lot of people do gratitude logs, which isn't necessarily something that I'm drawn to, but I saw this, I can't remember where now, and thought this is just perfect for me. One word to sum up the day. So on the left hand side, I've made a list of all the days of January down there for me to then pop my word on. And on the right hand side, this is my steps tracker. In December, I started to list out steps on an entire page, and I really enjoyed that. It really worked well for me. So I'm going to repeat that again in January. my final spread of my monthly spreads I introduced you to in December is my Pensive. So this is my brain dump collection of memories, things that I just want to think of, things that happened, just those thoughts and things that you don't want to forget. So this is that page for me. And that's my final spread for the January month. So there we go, my final flip through of my January ambitious spread with my watercolours.